the bog of eternal stench!
Hell yeah! What's going on, everybody? How are you? Forgot to let the folks know, the nice folks here, that I'm all headed on. All right. Hang on a second. On. Well, not in, but on. Yeah, buddy. Hang on, guys. Just making sure I've got everything what I need to do. And I gotta get in the chat, and we're good to go. If you're in the chat, say what's going on. How are you? That is Beelzebong, the Bong of Eternal Stench. Great tune. Absolutely great tune. It's a wonderful tune, it is. Hopefully you guys are doing great. I'm doing great. I'm having a great day. We had a wonderful stream earlier with Alex Lee, formerly of Holy Grail and currently of Devil Driver, and as well as Bryce Van Hoosen of Silver Talent dropped in as well. We had a nice Q&A. We're going to be setting up a Doom Tomb. Pedro, what the fuck are you doing awake? Do you not sleep, brother? What's going on? How are you, buddy? How the fuck are you? I'm having a great day. It was a wonderful stream earlier today. We had a nice chat with some great people, and it was awesome. My name is Tyler. Welcome to the Doom Tomb, and welcome to the MCM universe. What do we do here? Well, being that we are brand new, and this is our first ever Saturday night stream, first in a long time anyway. We did one ways back. We want to see who's available tonight. We want to see what's going on. How are you guys feeling? Tell me about how your Saturday night is fucking going. Are you having some drinks? Are you having some herbal enhancement, as we like to call it? Because I don't want to say the words, because apparently words can get you nuked around here. So we'll just call it the jazz cabbage. Or maybe it's wine is your thing. Maybe nothing at all is your thing, and you just get down with tone and tone alone, and that's okay. We're right here for you tonight, Saturday night on the Tomb. We're gonna have a good time. I'm testing out our brand new, upcoming Doom Tomb Ginger, Doom Tomb Ginger 412 pack. This is made with a collection of we'll call it intermediate level shot files of a 412. I believe it's a 412 an orange 412 PPC loaded with V30s. So we're gonna go over some of them. Pardon me. And I have them loaded up right here in Nadir. How about that? 2 a.m. there, Insomnia. Man, Insomnia does suck. I've been there, brother. I've been there a lot. Until I found marijuana. I actually didn't find it until, I just got nuked. That's it. Canceled. Until I found that later in life. I'm actually kind of glad that I found it later in life and not earlier in life, because I would have been way more useless. Now it's like I use it responsibly. Everything works out. I need it for sleep. I need it for. I definitely need it for sleep. I can do without it for everything else, but for sleep, man, it is just the greatest thing for sleep. But then again, everybody has different things in different parts of the world. It's still very much illegal in some parts of the world as well. So don't go getting yourself in any trouble. Which is ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous that it's still illegal in parts of the world. But I mean, I'm pretty sure drinking is allowed everywhere, right? But that's for another channel, another day. A lot of people covering that topic elsewhere, so we don't have to get into the legalities of things. As I mentioned, politics not particularly allowed around here. So, David Gamino Sr., how are you? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Brand new in here, and cat hair is afoot everywhere during these streams. And at night, I'm noticing with a little bit less light in here, you can really see them floating around. And you might be thinking, well, yeah, you just got to clean up after them. Well, it's not that easy. How are you, David? Tell us, are you a new user? Are you a intermediate user? Are you an experienced long-time user? Let us know in the comments what you happen to be. And I'm going to turn this down just a tiny bit more because it is encroaching on, hey, I'm not going to shout over the music. Now calm down. Yeah, and what is the Doom Tomb? Now, what we'd like to do is introductions for all the time. Pretty much every time we do a live stream, I'm gonna introduce things to you so you guys know where we're at, what we're doing. Doom Tomb. Well, guys, this is essentially 100% a show that is 100% for the promotion of guitar and bass software in the Doom universe. And get off of my mic. That's where you just get out of here. I swear to God, I just got to put my mic in a different spot because my desk is actually like a walkthrough for the animals to the window. And you wonder how hair gets on things. Oh boy. Anyways, tell us, David, who are some of your favorite developers? Let me know what you're into. And what we do here, going back to it, is we're here for the promotion of it. We're here to show you analog purists and analog loyalists and those that are still breathing that analog versus digital. If you're still living that life and walking that analog versus digital lifestyle, you're losing your own battle. It's not about that. In 2024, folks, it is about enhancing your creativity by using both analog and digital to pow. Yep. You're going to use that to enhance your creativity to make sure that, yeah, I just got struck with creativity at 2 a.m. like Pedro here wakes up at 2 a.m. He can't sleep. He wants to create. He can't fire up a wall of cabinets. He can't go and fire up a whole bunch of stacks and a whole pedal board. No. But what he can do is fire up a laptop, open up a plugin, and get fuzzing with nobody in a pair of headphones, earbuds. You can do so many things you can do these days that can make your life so much easier as a Doom player or as a stoner rock player, sludge, drone, whatever it is your thing is. There's a way to achieve the guitar tone you use in your daily life, in your main rig, in your live rig, in your studio rig, in your jam rig. There's a way to make all of that happen inside of a DAW, and that is your digital audio workstation that we're working in right now. As obviously, doesn't take a lot to make these things work, and no one's saying replace your analog gear with this stuff. We're saying give these a chance for those moments that you can't use your analog gear, be it on a bus or in a van on tour, in a hotel room on tour. You want to keep working on a demo to work on next time. You're working on a demo. Fire up some drum software. You put the demo together. You play it for your band in the van on your way. You could export it all. Make sure you can get a little mix going. Fire it up in the van or on the bus, and you listen to it. And by the time you're at the next show, you've got something you could be working with. You can listen to it enough, and everybody can go over it. And that, as opposed to having to actually dish up, bust everything out. These are kind of selling points. And why am I trying to sell you? Well, because I really feel like there are certain types of players that still haven't found amp sims and still aren't really fully and actively accessing their full creativity. I really do feel that. I feel like at least a load box with some IRs can really help you out. But in this case, if you're going to go as far as using a load box and some IRs, why not go all the way? And why not go all the way? You've already got the digital cabinet. You're already letting the digital cabinet speak for your amplifier. Why not use a digital amp sim as well, as long as it's of good quality? And today we're getting started with the Brainworks rocker gain, as we typically like to get started with things here from time to time. The eternal cat hair fight, yes indeed. And David, nice to see you. If you don't want to answer back on those questions, no problem. But curious nonetheless. Why am I asking these questions? I like to get to know the entire community here. I like to know what levels people are at, because I like to communicate with people based on the level that I know they're at. And because, like I often say here, we have a few different levels of information in amp sims, and I think any hobby, even like my other hobby is disc golf, and one of my other hobbies used to be jujitsu. So, and there are different levels, right? There is the upper level, there is the enthusiast, gateway, getting used to things, very beginner, introductory level, noobs, as we like to call ourselves. And we've all been a noob in a bunch of different aspects of our life, of our lives rather. Okay, so then you go here, and then you get a little bit low, you're snorkeling. Then, of course, you go way, way down below, where you can get down into like deep diving. Okay, so where we can operate anywhere in here, I just need to know the skill level and some of the preferences of people hanging out, because it's always nice to be able to communicate with people on their favorite developers and so on. All right, so here we go. We're gonna get checking out. By the way, this is my Ibanez Iceman, and it is armed with a Bill Lawrence USA. Bill Lawrence USA L500 XL. I can't speak. And in the bridge and in the neck, it has a Gibson Classic 57. Not sure if these pickups will live in this guitar forever, but I'm awful fond of them. In here, this guitar is tuned in C standard, and the Eternal Cat Hair Fight. As always, we operate. I don't have like a special little studio I can, separate from my home that I can work in, or even a separate room. Really, we live in a small place, and you got to work with whatever space you have. As I'm trying to make Mrs. Hazard, as she used to be known, and her shoulder are going to be famous this evening. And she's hanging out playing some Cyberpunk, and I'm hanging out playing some Doom with y'all. So we're going to go over the lineup as fast as we can without leaving anything out. We've got the Dozer Drive from Fuse Audio Labs. Boom and pop. It's a little bit of fuzz face, a little bit of screamer. Lots you can do with it. It might make its way in. Mixed Wave Benson Germanium Fuzz. Oh yeah, baby. The Effector Moon Muffin, brand new from Kuwasa. Whoop whoop. Yep, I can't wait to try this out. This will be my maiden voyage, first impressions with this wonderful big muff, and I can't wait to try it, because these guys are geniuses when it comes to pedals. We've got the Big Goat from Audiority. We've got the Big Soar from Fuse Audio Labs. We've got the Nambrini Audio Black, which is based on, of course, the Proco Rat. The Effector FZ 3603, which is 5 different fuzz pedals inside one chassis, inside one plugin. You can switch between 3 different options here, and it's fantastic. The Big Stuff from Nambrini Audio. The El Hermano Germanium Overdrive from Fuse Audio Labs. The ADA Flanger. This thing is superb. Super good. And then for amps, we have the L12X solid state amplifier, one of my favorites of all time. This is free. You guys can go get this right now for $0.00. Go get it ASAP. We're on a bit early tonight, so I didn't expect people to, be here on time at 9 o'clock. But what we are doing is, by the way, tonight is we are exploring a different sort of time to see what's available on Saturday nights. We're going to sneak the odd one in. If they become popular, it's not going to be Doom Tomb every single time. We're going to rotate. It's going to be occasionally, it's going to be High Gain Haven. Occasionally, it's going to be this or that, the other thing. It's going to be a mix of things on Saturday nights, not just Doom Tomb. So Doom Tomb is going to be a show we're hoping to do once every 2 weeks. If it becomes more popular, we're going to do it once a week. In the summertime, I'm hoping to do it a whole bunch, because I really do enjoy Doom. And I really do feel like there's this whole demographic of a giant demographic of guitar players. And if you're a developer, a software and / guitar based developer, software developer out there, you really need to hear this, And maybe, you know, as a community of developers, we go after some of these folks and let them know, hey, listen, these guys and these, you know, this stuff that's being made this isn't crap. You know, the stuff you tried 10 years ago, it's come a little ways. You know, I still see the memes to this day being made by the, you know, the analog guys that are just ripping on plugins like it's still the quality of like the Line 6 Pod 2.0. Represent the kidney bean, legit. But still, yeah. Let's see what we can. What we're going to start with here. By the way, we're going to move on with the with this. We've got amplification Clarent, which is superb. A very different sort of look at some orange amps, and all the while today, we're also going to be testing out some IRs that I put together. And we have the rocker gain from Brainworks based on, I believe, the rocker verb. We have the Mr. Hector. This is based on, obviously, the Mr. Hector by Laboga. And we're going to try this with some fuzz today. Although there is no fuzz pedal on board, we're going to hit it with some fuzz anyway, see what happens. This is Aurora DSP month after all. And then we have the Chandler Gav 19T. If you want to see the Chandler, if you've never heard the Chandler before, you're going to be very surprised by this amp. This is a licensed version, by the way. No play on or parody name here. This is a legit amp that you can go and buy, although I'm sure that it's probably quite pricey to find one. I don't know if they're made anymore. So this plugin is unique to itself. It's very, very different, very bizarre. I really like it for Doom and Fuzz and other types of things. It gives me a very, we'll call it a Queens of the Stone Age kind of vibe in the way it sets up. And then if you start hitting it with different types of fuzz, even without fuzz, it's very unique and very strange. But when you start hitting with fuzz, it becomes a whole new kind of unique beast. Okay, now we're going to get started with just the rocker gain. And I'm not using any of the onboard stuff here, by the way. It's all turned off. I've got my own impulse responses that we're loading up here. And I'm starting with the Boz file. And we're going to see what we've got. Okay. Oops. That is definitely not what I wanted. Let's try this again. I'm trying to deal without a gate here. Without too much of a gate. And we'll see what happens. Okay. See, I knew that was going to be a bit of an issue, so we're going to have to go back into my vocal chain here, and I'm just going to have to set the, try to set the gate up a little bit different here. I'm just going to have to clip that up just a tiny bit, so it's not cool. And again, we have a cat hair encroaching. Cool. Occasionally you're going to hear one sneak through, and I do apologize for that in advance. And this sounds pretty good so far. This is the file I'm working with. The Boz file. It sounds pretty good. I'm liking these this stuff so far. I don't want to use too much gain. Remember, I eventually want to let a fuzz pedal take over here. So I'm not setting up for too much gain. It's still too much. Way too much. Low input. We're getting it set up without gain first, by the way. Cool. And by the way, the cabinet is based as I said on it is a 412, an orange PPC 412 with V30s, Celestion V30s. Now let's hit it with some fuzz. I'm anxious to try this brand new Effector Moon Muffin. I'm very excited because I haven't tried this yet. So this is how I typically will set up any kind of fuzz pedals. I just take that fuzz pedal all the way to the right, the level, and tone to taste to see what we got. If you're in the chat, by the way, say what's up. How's it going, guys? It's Saturday night. Let's have a chat. These are live. This is a gear chat environment. Just pretend we're all in the same room. We're all holding a guitar. Sorry. we're all in the same room. We're all holding a guitar or a bass, or you've got drumsticks in your hand. We're just hanging out at a jam space, having a good gear chat. And in this case, instead of talking about analog and that, well, you know what? We do that here too, by the way. One of the main things that we like to do here at the AmSim Universe is we want to make sure that you guys understand the relationship and respect, and we want to nurture the relationship between analog and digital so that it's not so, you know, we don't lose touch of that, because sometimes it's not just about promoting the software. It's about promoting that the analog hardware and all the different things that have been built and modeled. By the way, sorry for this. We're going to try this again. All right. It's about kind of nurturing the relationship on what stuff has been modeled by these software companies, and, you know, all the different blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into these different creations by these builders, these geniuses over the you know, over 100 years, probably close to the worth of analog stuff that's been modeled already. Just making sure that we nurture that, and that, you know, you guys are always aware of what stuff is based on, and if stuff is authentic or realistic, we're going to be there for you. Let's see what we got. That's pretty tight. This sounds pretty good. So far, so good. Nice. We're going to start, once I've got the tone kind of dialed into the way I like it, we're going to start going with some files. Here's without. Cat hair in my eye now. They're not just aiming for my sniffer today. They're aiming for all things possible. They're just like moss to a flame. They're going for the eyes, the mouth, everything today. They are alive. All right, we're going from the Boz file to Beardo. Let's see, check out Beardo. Billy. These will be available for free on our Tone Hunt. And they, as I said, essentially a ways back, a guy that we were sharing a jam space with and eventually he moved away and sort of started wanting to do sort of an impulse response business. Not a business, but a hobby business. It's never really a business for these guys. I want to make that clear. If you're doing IRs, you're doing it for the love of it. None of these guys, not one of them, it doesn't matter what they charge for their packs, unless they're building real cabinets, they're not seeing real money for what they're doing. Guys, they're spending way more than they're making. It is a hobby and a labor of love for these people. And essentially, he got, you know, well, he was already married, but he ended up having a couple of kids. Eventually saying that, you know what, this isn't really what I want to be doing. I don't have the time to be, you know, doing this stuff. Here are these files, take them and do what you like. And now we've got access to a few different cabinets. I think there's roughly 21 or 22 different cabinets in there of various sizes, mostly 212 and 412. And we'll be mixing some of those together over the time. And hopefully you guys are digging it. So right now I'm checking out the Billy. And from what the notes I was reading, the notes are just all I've got is notes and know-how and some communication. And basically, what I've got out of this one is it's 412 refurbished, whatever that means, refurbished, recovered. 412 orange PPC, and this is with a there's a selection of mics there's mostly 57 in a 57 421 57 421 and a 441 is what is available. There's a few files per, and I'm just mixing and mashing, guys, and having a lot of fun with Libra. If you've never checked out Ignite Amps Libra, you can make your own little blends based on stuff. By the way, you cannot sell or give away any blends that you make with any actual paid product. If it's stuff that's fair use and royalty free, yes, you can do stuff like that. Or if you shoot your own, yeah, go ahead and make all the blends and do whatever the fuck you want with those files. But I want to make it very clear, and we were having this discussion recently, and I don't know that if it's entirely out there. I'm not really sure if this information is out there, but if you're blending IRs, impulse responses, and cabinets and such, if you're doing those blends like from single, what blends, for those that aren't aware, is essentially when you're taking single mic IR files and you're blending them together through some type of a mixer. Okay, and it's what tons of developers are doing these. When you see blends, it doesn't always mean they've got 3 different mics on a cabinet at the same time. That's not always what's going on. A lot of times you're hearing blended files that are done with some sort of a file blender. And that's fine. That's great if they're using your own files. But remember to make sure that whenever you've purchased any pack, those cannot be used for such things. And Tone Hunt is very specific about these things. So just everybody make sure before you start blending files, and if you're putting them out there for people to listen to or check out, you cannot use files that have been purchased usually. Okay. And if you're going to try something like that, at least maybe you could always just try contacting the developer and seeing what they think about it. But you're probably going to get told, no, probably not. Okay. Yo, what's going on, Bo? How's it going, everybody? It's a nice Saturday night. It's 9:15 my time up here in Canada, way up north, and we are chilling out, hanging out right now and checking out some of these files that I've blended together for what is known as the Doom Tomb Ginger 412 pack. Okay, so check these out again. Okay. Now we want that fuzz back. Let's get the Moon Muffin. That's delicious. And I'm gonna kind of mess around with some other settings, but my favorite thing to do with a fuzz pedal is just to the fuzz or sustain, whatever it is, just ram it all the way to the one side and then kind of level. And if there is a tone function of some type or some sort of mid feature, that'll be like to taste, and you'll be kind of just, cycling around trying to find a good time. And if you're looking for a good time, and tonight you found a good one, you found a filthy, frothy, cronky, gronky, gross, in a good way, a good time. And we hope that at some point tonight you make the face that goes like this. Yeah. Yep. If that is that at some point, we hope you make that face tonight. I know they use a hyperfuzz. We're gonna get to that at some point. Relax. I know they use a hyperfuzz, but if you've been around the amp sim universe, or the actual, if you've just been around guitar and bass software long enough, you'll know that there isn't really a hyperfuzz plugin out there, and there's a good reason for that. There's one, sort of. Helix Native has it as line 6. Oh, sorry, Line 6 Doom. And if you guys see me slouching, tell me I'm slouching. Tell me I'm slouching. Tell me it looks bad. It looks unprofessional. Terrible. Jesus, another pedal to buy. Well, it's a good thing it's from Kawasa then, isn't it? Yeah. If it's from Kawasa, well then you know it's gonna be fucking rad. And by the way, we will have a Kawasa month. We don't know what month it's gonna be yet, but I did speak with the lovely and wonderful people at Kawasa. They have just always, they are so nice. Is this the nicest people that you could ever deal with? And they're awesome. They've always supported everything I've been a part of, whether it be Honest AmSim Reviews or the AmSim Universe. These guys are awesome. And everything is affordable. Very much affordable, which I also love, okay? And so we're using that through the rocker gain currently, which is then being fed into an impulse response loader, if you're not familiar. And now if you're watching this and you're a Doom, you are one of the Doomers that's just checking this stuff out. If I'm going too fast, if you have questions, hammer the comments after the fact, and I'll make sure that you get absolutely all the information you're going to need to make all the decisions and to make these awesome, lovely fuzzy tones in the comfort of your own home without waking up your kids, without waking up your wife. Maybe you live with somebody that's on the exact opposite schedule at some point during some points of the week, and you want to continue to jam out. Maybe it's even during the day. You're off work during the day, and the other person is sleeping during the day because they do night shifts. These are all just theories, right? These are all just situations where I can see that plugins, like for example, I'm sitting here doing an entire live stream based on loud, gross fuzz plugins that sounds like I should be using an amp behind me, but you know what? The missus is just sitting right here beside me, and she can't hear anything but the occasional twingity twang and the sound of my super annoying voice. Yeah, that's where we're at. So we're going to go on now to the file called Blanca. Yeah, so when I switch over to the neck pickup, I definitely need a little bit more of the suds here from the middle. You know what I like about this? They didn't do anything in their own way on this one. They just went with it. Now this is different. If you're aware of the developer that is Kawasa, you'll know that they don't tend to do things that way usually. They typically have not done things this way. In fact, it's the exact opposite. They usually just take random, really rad gear, and they typically do things their own way. They make little tweaks here and there. They omit certain settings. They condense certain settings. And they do things in a way that still sounds legit and still feels really good, but doesn't involve so much tweaking. And it's a little bit more of the easy. And especially the pedals typically only have three or four settings. A lot of the pedals have condensed formats as well. Radness. And but in this case, this is one of the first plugins of theirs that I can recall. Maybe somebody else can correct me if I'm wrong. This is one of the first plugins that I can recall as far as specifically for guitar, where they've really just gone they've done it as is, and they've done it like something that is supposed to specifically represent something, including all controls, and they're not kind of beating around the bush at all. They're just like, this is what it is. This is what it's based on. In this case, I like that. And I hope that means that we're going to see more from Kawasa, because this, if you're new to the plugin world, this is a wonderful company that has wonderful stuff. We're going to get into one of their amp sims right now. Now I'm going to turn off the cab, and we're going to use our impulse response pack here. And this is Kawasa's amplification Clarent. Now this thing is pretty damn sweet, and it has essentially 3 different orange amps inside with 2 channels apiece. We're going to use the lower gain, the lower input of one of the 2, and then we're going to go straight to the louder of the bunch and see what we have here. I'm going to turn off that. Oh, whoops. Sounds pretty good. Let's hit it with some fuzz. A little bit less of that. Let's hit it with some fuzz. Nice. So I want to turn that up now. Yeah, they should grow on you because they predate Neural DSP, STL Tones, all those companies. They predate those companies by like 5 or 6 years. These guys have been around for a really long time. So if you're wondering like where do these guys come from? Well, now they don't come from anywhere. They've always been here. They're just here. That's what they do. This company has always done the good stuff. Hang on a second. What am I looking at here? Are there different types inside the one? What am I looking at? Hold on, folks. What am I seeing here? If I go to the RAM, oh, they've included different versions of the Big Muff. Oh, you cheeky gentleman, you. You know how to tug on a man's heart. Oh, goshness. Let's do it. Oh, well then. Oh, okay. See that's the face right there that I get when I really, really like something. I just can't hide it. I want to show you guys that like how much I enjoyed this right now. This stuff, I'm not full of shit. Wow. Wowzy McWow wow. That sounds so good. Holy cow. That sounds so just, I want to see, oh, geez. Jeez Louise. Papa Cheese. Let's go back to the rocker gain for a second. I want to hear how it sounds with this one. Yep, I just wrote a riff on the spot there. I like to do that and just to see what comes out, and that's a gooder. I'm gonna go back to that one and see if I can use that for something, probably like a 45-second demo in the future, as I like to use these little 45-second demos at the start of our new and upcoming pre-recorded content that'll be only about 20 minutes tops, 10 to 20 minute reviews, specific one product only type stuff, just to get nice pre-recorded stuff out there for everybody that doesn't have 2 hours to listen to some Canadian asshole talk about amp sims. Sorry. And by the way, our team here, if you're just joining us, or if you've never joined us in the past, I am just one person on the team here. I'm kind of just the guy that's on the camera, and the guy that's using the most of the voice. We also have Eddie Shar, who is a huge part of what we do here. He makes his own impulse responses and his own his neural amp modeler captures, and you can find him as Sharface on Tone Hunt. If you have the neural amp modeler, or if you just want to use his IRs, you can do that as well. And you'll be able to find this pack probably sometime in the next couple of days on the Amp Sim universe, and on our Tone Hunt, you'll be able to find them on there. Now, here's the thing. If you've never tried the neural amp modeler, here's the kind of the neat little trick. Now, one thing that seems to profile and capture really well are fuzz pedals. So basically you set the settings the way you want it, you capture it using their process, and then you have this capture that you can run out front of any actual amp sim should you wish, or you can actually do the entire rig, or you can do the amp. It's really up to you. It's kind of like a Kemper, but like not. It's all free, by the way. Tone Hunt, the majority of the stuff, all the stuff on Tone Hunt is free, although you can find paid packs for the neural amp modeler that are actually pretty worth it. If you're not paying anything for the plugin itself, some of this stuff is amazing. Plus, we are coming out with a wonderful way that you guys will be able to use your NAM captures and / profiles in a wonderful all-in-one, great sounding, amazing looking kind of little suite, a little sort of plugin / suite we're making for free that you guys will be able to use and abuse and have a lot of fun with. We cannot wait for you guys to try it. But in this situation, I'm going to use the neural amp modeler to load up the hyperfuzz. Okay. Now the hyperfuzz is a big deal because it's been deemed too hard to model properly in the traditional sense of modeling something that's kind of from scratch with using the schematic and the topology and doing it all that way. Apparently this this pedal is just too fucking hard to do. So we're going to use it in a different way here. We're going to turn off the effector Moon Muffin, and we're going to turn on the neural amp modeler. Okay. Now, let's see what we got here. I want to show you guys without. Okay, so without. Okay, with. Next profile, that's more of a moderate. These are not obviously the monolord settings for, or any setting that I mean, some of the settings are good. The captures are good, but I would like to alter the settings, but that you can't really do that. Even with these settings right here, you're not going to edit it or alter the settings in the traditional way that the pedal is used to. So if I would say that if the capture that you're using doesn't float your boat, look for another capture. Don't really want to use this too much to edit. In my personal opinion, I prefer to just let the profile breathe. Think of the neural ant modeler like any profile as Photoshop. What happens when you use too much Photoshop? Well, it doesn't look real anymore. Or if you know what I mean when you use excess. So when you use excess of the editing capabilities of anything, but really we'll say STL Tone Hub, that the tracer amp that they have inside there is amazing. And so that one operates a bit different. Whereas with pretty much everything else, I would say just if you're not happy with the profile the way it is, just yeet, and then just try something else, right? So I have a few different fuzz pedals available to me here in just capture form, and the Dunwich Fuzz Throne is another one that I really, really like. I also have the Carcosa Fuzz. It was on the can. Look, there's one on the can trying to sabotage me. That was gonna go right up my damn nose. I swear to God. I swear to God, these cats, they're trying to sabotage us so they can eventually eat us. No, maybe. Hell yeah! Man, I'm stoked. I'm stoked about this stream in general. I love playing Doom with plugins. And Does It Doom and Steve Rees and I, we've had a couple of conversations, and I've sent him many tone clips over the years. Back in the day, I would send him tone clips all the time of like plugins doing Doom. And a few of them, he was like, I don't know, man, not really floating my boat. And a few of them were like, well, okay, I see you're actually onto something here. And I truthfully feel like there are, like, for example, I can remember when Steve Rees was doing Does It Doom with a cell phone, and every time he would hit the low, his cell phone would just shake into a fuck. It would be like literally someone was shaking it and vibrating it. It was like you had that crazy motion effect on it. And one day I was chatting with him, and apparently a number of people had told him, hey, listen, you should try DirectBox, man. And, he didn't really want to go with the DirectBox because, I mean, let's be honest, it's digital. It's digital. Oh, no. But the thing is, if you're willing to go with a DirectBox, and if you're out there right now and you've got Doom stuff and, you're a Doom player and you're like, all I need is a DirectBox. Hey, that's cool. No problem. I agree. That's all you need. If you have a DirectBox and you have that kind of that outlet and you're able to do kind of what you need to do, cool. Then you don't necessarily need plugins. But if you have the means and you have a halfway decent machine, these things don't take a crazy machine to run, okay? No, this is the Dunwich Fuzz Throne right now in the Neural Amp Modeler, the Dunwich Fuzz Throne. Fuck yeah! So here's what you're gonna get if you're going to check out profiles over on Tonehead. Sometimes you might get a developer, a creator, we'll call them, not a developer. I don't want to call them developers. That's loose. These are creators, and some of them are really good at what they do. And it's not super simple. You might get some people being like, "Oh, it's so easy." And if it's so easy, show me some really good captures. Then I've heard a lot of train wrecks. There is some crap on Tonehead that you have to sift through. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. There is some stuff on there that's it's okay. All right, yeah, it's okay. Now in this case, you see this one single profile, one single capture right here, and it's just simply the the creator's favorite settings. And then you go into here, you go into pedals, and then you go into fuzz. And the DOD Carcosa Fuzz, if I'm not mistaken, that was designed by Black Arts Toneworks. 11.5 dBu is on the side here. And then also here, you get a whole bunch of settings. All kinds of settings in here. And these are all captures done with different settings. And they kind of let you know the bass, 3, this, that, the other thing. This is what all the settings are on the pedal. And which is really nice. Okay, that's a nice thing to have. We're going to try some of these captures right now, along with our rocker gain. Impressed? Whoop, whoop. Nice. So you guys can hear that that's a pretty real sounding profile. Like these captures don't fuck around for pedals, and I think that the neural amp modeler is underused when it comes to just being a pedal with paid software or free software of other types. A lot of people are just like, oh, it's got to be all neural amp, it's got to be all NAM or bust. No. You don't need to do that. You can just use it as a pedal out front of your favorite paid plugins, like in this case, or free plugins for that matter, like we're going to go to next. Is going to be the L12X from Audiority. This is a little tiny solid state kind of deal, kind of like a valve state, one part of a channel from a valve state sort of kind of thing. And you guys are going to check that out after with a bunch of different fuzz pedals. In this case, we're going to get off of that neural amp modeler. Am I saying that it replaces pedal plugins completely? Absolutely 110% not, because in this case, something that's modeled via the topology, schematic, etc., by somebody who's really gifted, somebody who's doing it bang on. It's nice to have the control so you can do whatever the hell you want with it, right? And you can feel that setting out as it kind of goes, as opposed to being kind of locked in various positions. That's just kind of the way I'm looking at. Search FZ2. You couldn't find it. Okay, sorry, I just noticed you guys were having this. Bo, you have all the components though, right? You have all the components that we've been working with, yeah? Apart from the dual loader, which again is just going to be like a regular ass dual loader of some sort. I'm not really exactly sure exactly what's going to be going on with that, but we'll see. What are we listening to right now? Gert. I found something new that I like. We're going to follow Gert. That is a sick fucking bass. Oh, I just found something that I want. I can't really talk about things that I want right now because, let's be honest, life is not affordable. But we need to remember Gert and this sweet machine that this guy is holding right here. Look at this absolute legend right here holding whatever this is. Can anybody tell me what brand this is? Can anybody see that? If someone could tell me what brand bass this is, it wouldn't help me ever get one, but it would help me lust for it. It would help me lust for it even more. Man, that is a really unique and interesting looking instrument that I would love to own. That is really nice. If anybody's watching this after the fact or currently, that can tell me what bass the dude from Gert is currently using. Can I make that even bigger? Oh, I can. That's about as big as she's going to get right there, though. Oh, make it smaller. Oh, neat. He kind of stays. Oh, the picture vector is kind of nice. Interesting. All right, it's cool. So if you can tell me what bass this dude's using. Also, never seen anybody use an LTD guitar. Could this also be an LTD bass then? I'm going to have to go look. I don't know that I've seen too many Doom bands use LTD Eclipses. That's pretty cool, though. Interesting. Of course, it would make sense, though, right? All right, so what we're going to move along to, we occasionally might throw in a little modulation for fun here with this amazing ADA flanger. Flanger. Flanger that I don't really like any flangers. There are no flangers I really get down with, but this is one that I really do get down with, and it's a lot of fun to use. If you guys never checked it out, check it out. It's from Brainworks, and it's usually they have these amazing these goddamn giant sales. So you can probably end up getting this for like $10 if you put this on a wish list and get on their mailing list. You probably end up getting this for $10 if you wait like a few months, maybe even less. Who knows? How much is it even right now? Couldn't even be more than $40. It's an amazing piece of amazing plugin based on a wonderful piece of gear as well. So if you're just joining us, or if you're just kind of jumping in, hi, my name is Tyler, and welcome to the Doom Tomb on the AmSim universe. This is a show that's dedicated to promoting the use of plugins in the Doom community, as well as just in general, kind of growing the ability, growing the kind of the word out there that, yeah, indeed, plugins can Doom, and for a lot of different purposes, can be used to definitely enhance creativity in really anything. And no matter what type of guitar player you are, I don't care. I don't care what your style is. I don't care what your style is or what you get down with. I can find a way for plugins to enhance your creativity. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Not only your creativity, but it's going to enhance your feelings on different gear. It's going to give you maybe thoughts on certain gear that you may have never had before because you've never had a chance to try it. So you go and try a plug-in version of it. It maybe changes your mind on some stuff and it makes you want to go and try the analog version. Seen that a fucking 100 times too, where maybe 1,000 times, where people bought plugins and then went and bought the analog hardware based on their opinion of the plugin because the plugin was so good. That's happened a lot. All right. Come on. Come on. Okay. Wait, what? I thought you were going to say that the plugin was $549. That's an orange brand base and it's $549? Wow, you must have, did you just do reverse image results on that? I would have. This is heavy as fuck too. This is just on Monolord Radio. This is Dope Lord. I'm glad that I'm going to put this on my list too, so it reminds me to go back and check out Gert. Gert. What a fucking band name. Gert. I'm never going to forget that band name now. Are you? I have a friend of mine that calls yogurt Gert. So maybe I'm going to have to... I'm hoping they didn't name their band after yogurt. That'd be cool if they did though, right? God damn, dude. Get back to the tones already. I'm going to get back to the tones. We're going to get back to the tones. Now, tell me all, which plugin would you guys like to hear? I'm going to go with the Mixwave Benson Germanium Fuzz out front of the rocker gain for the moment. Let's see what we got here. Oh, wow, that's kind of loud. Sorry, guys. We're going to also change up the file here. We've been using the Blanker file. This is we're going to the Klompus. And these are all, by the way, files from the upcoming Doom Tomb Ginger 412 pack that we're going to be using. We're going to be throwing out there on Tone Hunt. And it is essentially, as I said earlier, a couple different times, this is based on, if the notes are correct, this is based on an orange PPC 412 with V30 speakers in it. Yeah, no pictures in the files that I was looking at, though. Apparently, some of the cabs have pictures that he intended to use it, but some do not. Steve, what's going on? How are you, my friend? Nice to see you again today. I'm going to roll off some top end on this and add some low end on this and bring back the gain on this and lay in again. That makes me way happier. Way happier. This is the Brainworks rocker gain, by the way. There's somebody out there really hated that, or somebody that's gonna watch it eventually. Not a bad riff if you're playing it with fuzz though. If you like slow that down a bit. That's it. A little bit too much top end even still, so what I'm going to do is go to the pedal here. Not a lot I can do about the top end on the pedal, so I'm going to go to the amp and use the amp to kind of dial back the top end I don't want. And this is from Mixwave, by the way. You can get the entire Benson suite. It comes with the Benson Chimera, the Germanium Fuzz, the Tallbird Reverb, and a bunch. I know, wait, not tall. Does it come with the Tallbird as well? The Tallbird. It's a pretty sweet. Ooh, unintentional on that one. Unintentional. I realized what I was about to do before I said the second suite and got all excited about it. Oh, this is gonna be great. Lovely. I'm gonna have to go look up both those bases because I don't actually have no need in the entire fucking universe for another base. I have 4 bases that are all very, very awesome machines, so I'll probably won't buy it, but it's nice to just look at stuff too, right? Yeah. So that was the Germanium, the Benson Germanium Fuzz, and it is superb. This is made by Mixwave. Not a lot of indication on here that it's made by Mixwave, to be honest with you. There's not a lot going on here that says Mixwave. So that's kind of cool. I mean, that they just let the builder have all the spotlight on this one. That's pretty sweet. I like that. And this is licensed, by the way. Not everything is licensed, and it's one thing that Doomers might not understand is like the parity of licensing. And to some people, the outside of the amp sim, we'll say the guitar and bass software world. Some people that are new to this world, you'll see a lot of parody names that'll look cheap and weird because not everything can be licensed. And essentially, developers are allowed to use the schematics and the designs under the hood, no problem. You cannot, as far as I know, I've been told you can't copyright a circuit to that something to that effect. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But essentially, these developers can model this gear and they can put it out based on this gear and make it look like that gear, but they can't call it that gear and they can't use the logo without the permission of the builder. Okay, that's the way it works. So some of the best gear and some of the best plugins out there are not licensed. And that is just the way it works. Just because something has a parody name, I've seen that a lot of times from people that aren't in the know, and they'll come across something that and advertised as such but called like a parody name, and they'll be like, LOL, look at this cheap piece of shit. You know, that's not the way it works. Just because a developer doesn't want to, take a bunch of cash and give it to a builder, for the use of a logo and their blessing, essentially, and probably some co-promotion. The way this works is if, a developer just wants to do something, maybe the license is already with another developer. That's another thing that will prevent a developer from doing a piece of gear and putting or even approaching a particular builder to use their name and their likeness or the logo or whatever. In that case, it might just be because another software developer has that license already and will have it. Like Marshall, for example, is spoken for by Softtube and will be until forever. Orange is currently spoken for, I think, by IK Multimedia, but Amplitude is probably not the best representation of the Orange sound. Now, so most of the Orange stuff that you're going to see out there that's really good is going to be rocker gain, or it's going to be called something else. It's going to look like Orange. It's going to sound like Orange, but it's not going to say Orange on it. And that is just part of the game that you're playing here in the plugin, in the plugin world. DC long scale, man. Like, these basses sound like they'd be a bit of a blast. We'll see. Now, if you go and look up Benson Germanium Fuzz, you'll notice that there are a lot of demos for this Germanium Fuzz, and especially the Benson preamp that you could also get with this this little bundle. You can also get the I think it's a germanium preamp of some sort or something to that effect, and you can get that preamp. And you can see a lot of the Benson stuff has some great demos from a lot of the Doom tubers even. So I'm curious, Doom tubers, now that you see a brand that you trust in from the analog world, are you more likely to be interested in getting into plugins? You know, if you're interested right now, you can go and get the Mixwave Benson Chimera collection for about $157 US, give or take. That is worth every single solitary cent, or you can wait till a sale where they tend to throw the half off out there and the 60% off or the 40% and stuff like that. This is a really nice suite, guys, and it comes, not only are all these in one package in one suite, but they also give you each of them separately so that you can use them in your own chains like I'm using them right now, without having to just kind of isolate that one component inside a suite and use it like that. That's kind of a weird way to use a pedal. So they give you, this is really great. I love that they did this. They give you the pedal just as it was, and I like that. So and we are halfway through the stream. We are at 10 o'clock. We started at 9 o'clock, so we are 1 hour in. And if you're new to this area, we like to do a bit of a THC break halfway through, or a break for a beer, or a break for a pee, or anything else. So we're going to do that right now. I'm usually back in about 2 or 3 minutes. I am very excited to come back and go over some more sick, filthy, gross, grimy, greasy, amazing tones with you guys. And I'm hoping you guys are interested in what we're doing here. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying it. If there's something else that I can be demoing for you guys, if there's any plugin out there that you'd like to hear in action during any stream, really, if it fits what we're doing in that moment, chances are I'm gonna throw you a bone on that one, and I'm gonna pull it, and we're gonna get it going full send, unless it's something that we know that does not carry a very high level of quality. And in that moment, we're gonna have a little bit of a talk. If it's something that I don't have, or something I have not tried, I am going to get into it. I'm gonna go and seek that developer out and say, listen, a viewer wants us to do this. Do you guys mind if we get something for review? If they don't want to give us something for review, I put it on a sale list next, and I snipe as we go, and I pick little things off the sale list as we go. All right, that's kind of how things work. Most stuff though, guys, I either have it or can probably get it, or it's probably in one of our accounts here that we've got from previous efforts like Honest Samson reviews and such. So guys, if there's anything I can demo for you on the Doom Tomb in the second half, you want to see it, it's not in the list right now, chances are I'm going to try to get it in there for you. All right, guys, give me 2, maybe 3 minutes, and I will be back to you. Cheers. Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm back and in the chair. I'm in the modestly priced, cat ravaged office chair that I have. I love to sit in this chair. It's great. There's no gaming throne around here. There's none of those. I don't have one of those like influencer space chairs. Those giant chairs that look like they're sitting in a giant like faux plastic racing seat. I just don't have time or room in my life for something like that. My cats, they would love to sink their claws into something like that. So that's why basically I have a certain type of office chair that's really easily available through the school system and through the office system around town here. It seems like the same type of chair is always for sale somewhere. So I can easily get it for myself. So basically I just wait till they break down until they're on their last legs and fire one out the door and get another one for like 40 bucks. That's kind of the way I like to roll around here. It's comfortable. I don't need it to look like I'm sitting in a space throne, you know? How's everybody doing on this fine Saturday evening? We're going to be doing about another 30 or 40 minutes here on the Doom Tomb. I couldn't be more excited. I'm going to make a Doom Tomb playlist instead of just using Monolord Radio. I do like Monolord Radio, and it does change up from time to time, which is nice. I realize that the bands don't make these playlists, like, you know, it's just kind of related artists and stuff, and I like those. I find them really, really handy. I know that Spotify is not cool to talk about, like, liking Spotify anymore because, like, there are issues. Blah, blah, blah. There's issues with everything forever, and there forever will be because, and let's be honest, the music industry has collapsed. All right, guys, so I'm just hanging out with you guys and my Iceman and the missus and the 6 of you that are in here. I mean, guys, I see 6 of you. I see 3 people chit-chatting. That's cool. Let's see all 6. Who's in here? Who do we got? Who's all out there? So what do we do? What are we testing out? What are we doing today? What are we doing? I'm testing out the Mixwave Benson Germanium fuzz, and that is going to find its way out of the chain for the moment. I had tested out the Effector Moon Muffin. I have the big goat here that we're going to test out next. This is also a big muff, an older one. Based on an older one anyways. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah. Juicy. If you're checking, you want to check this out, this is from Audiority if you'd like to check them out. And we're not going to be going over every single plugin at great length, but one of the ones I wanted to go over in the second half is to make sure you guys get a good look and a listen on what's possible without spending a single dollar on anything. Okay, so this is in theory going to be a free, 100% free IR pack that we're going to be putting out. And there's a lot of free IRs out there currently that you can go out and get. This is a free fuzz pedal known as the Big Sur by Fuse Audio Labs. And you might not have heard of that company. They're a smaller company. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful company that does amazing stuff based on some really old gear. Kind of, that's their shtick. That's their focus, is doing plugins based on stuff that is old, like really old stuff based on stuff that goes back to like the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I think they kind of tap out somewhere in the 70s, late 70s is kind of where they draw the line. And currently working on a Fender amp that I cannot share fully, but it's something that you guys, if you're in the surf world, you're gonna love, okay? And if you're not into surf, I question you. Why aren't you into surf? And if you're not into, have you given it a shot and really listened to what it has to offer? Because that stuff's heavy as fuck for the era. That was the start of metal, the start of heavy music, the start of loud, bigger, giant amps that were designed for metal at the time, metal musicians. I really respect Dick Dale a lot for his work, and surf music a lot for what it got started. And truthfully, you should go check out surf, because it was kind of the start of a lot of things. We're going to be doing Tone Talk Surf. We kind of did one once. We'll be doing another one at some point. So this is the Big Sur, and we're going to be pumping it through the L12X from Audiority, and we're going to see what we can get out of this. Okay, so this is pretty easy going so far. You might be thinking, oh, what? We're not getting to any... It doesn't seem like we're getting to anything that good. Okay. And then all of a sudden, things start to get a little different. And a little bit better, even still. And this is free. This entire chain that I'm using right now is 100% free. This is the Big Sur. You can get this for free right now over at Fuse Audio Labs right now. You can go get it. It'll be in the description. I'll have the developer link. But you can go get Fuse Audio Labs. Pretty easy. You can see it's right on the bottom. Right on the bottom of the pedal graphic. You can check it out. And this is the free. This is based on a little tiny combo amp that you probably have never seen, never heard of, never will hear about, and that's okay. What you will hear about is the L12X. This is 100% free. It could be used for doom, it could be used for punk, it could be used for death metal, it can be used for extreme metal, it can be used for surf, it can be used for just about anything. It sounds good with almost every IR you'll use it with. It's also a really good barometer for when IRs suck or when a pedal plugin sucks, because this amp is very transparent and good at giving you kind of what the pedal or the IR is giving you, and just sort of being sort of there to kind of make it all happen, so you can really feel what everything is doing and the quality of such things. So this is sort of a good at spotting the fake in this case, and I'm using it with the free Big Sur. And I'm testing out our Doom Tomb Ginger 412 IR pack. We're going to change the file to clowned instead. See where we're at. You can't argue that that is one hell of a tone for just about anything. For Doom, like, wow. Yeah, 100% free and easy to install, easy to use. You just stack them up in your chain. Like all these plugins that you see in my chain right now, none of these, there's only 5 active plugins, but only 3 of them you're really hearing in them right now. This is the denoiser, and without the denoiser, you're hearing things like this. All right, wow, that's actually pretty decent. Not so bad. Absolute unbelievable riff right here from Monolord. Holy fuck, this band is heavy. I remember where I was the first time I heard Monolord, and I remember exactly how I reacted, and it's still how I react to this day every time I hear that fucking band. Absolutely a breathtaking doom band. I wouldn't even call them straight up just doom. It's like there's elements of stoner rock in there too, and if you're like, what is the difference between those two? Also, if you're thinking doom as in like doom, if this is, by the way, I want to be very clear. The Doom Tomb will never ever at any point feature any Gothic Doom at all. I don't believe. There will I don't think we're gonna have a Doom Tomb Paradise Lost episode, or a My Dying Bride, or Moon Spell. Black candles. There's not gonna be any of that around here. That's not really my focus of the Doom Tomb. No disrespect to Gothic Doom lovers. It's just not what we're into here. So I apologize if you wandered in here thinking you were going to get something like that and you got this. My mistake. It's going to be kind of sludge doom, stoner rock, van rock. If you're wondering what the fuck is van rock, sometimes people used to refer to stuff like Fu Manchu as van rock, Caius, van rock. Small circles. I've heard it described as such. Want to be very clear what we're doing here. We're going to be getting into bands like Caius. We're going to be getting into bands like Electric Wizard and other bands where we focus on one band and sort of not necessarily a tone talk way, but right now what I'm really kind of trying to do is just make filthy tones and talk about the genre, talk about the gear. And don't worry, not every week when you show up is it going to be like an infomercial with a 5-point PowerPoint presentation on why every doomer needs to have a plugin. Of course, there's going to be maybe a little feature here and there where I might mention something that might be good, but not every episode's going to be along these lines where I'm going to be like, hey, everybody, look what it can do. Everybody, yes, yes, yes. Look what it can do. Look at this amazing thing. This could be right for you as well. You know, we're not going to be, we're not going to go on that. So right now, what I want to do is make some filthy sounds, and I'm doing so for $0, 0 cents right now, which also makes 0 sense, doesn't it? It sounds really good. And I love that, like, you can really get it. I hate to say it, but like, it's not going to give me the feeling of standing in front, and no one's saying it's ever going to give you the feeling of sitting in front of or standing in front of this massive wall of moving fucking air. Everybody loves that feeling, and if you've never had the feeling, if you've never stood on an amp or in a jam space in front of a 412 cabinet or even two stacked 412s and really felt it, or maybe, you know, a side-by-side 412, which is kind of my preference when I rocked that kind of a rig. I liked the side-by-side 412 slightly angled, just ever so slightly angled. Kind of, you'll see. Anyways. That was kind of my bag, and no one's saying that you have to replace that, and no one's saying that it's going to give you that feeling. However, it might give you that feeling of when you're sitting in a studio and your amp is in the other fucking room. It's in an ISO box, or it's in an ISO room, or it's in the other room in general. You're not standing in front or even sitting beside the moving air. It's nowhere near you. You're not even really feeling the low end. You've got your headphones, you've got your guitar, and you've got some guy in another chair that's telling you now play or don't play, and then you see the red light and you get you get concrete hands like myself. Here's the other thing. It's going to give you that feeling. It's going to give you the feeling like you're sitting in a studio and with less pressure. There's no one sitting around you that's saying, hey, listen, you got to go, 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 go. It's going to make you the feeling that, hey, I'm sitting here playing with headphones on, and I can feel, I can hear that I'm playing through a great sounding rig, but I just can't feel it. I can hear it, and I know I'm playing through it, but I can't feel it right here. However, that being said, if you get a decent set of monitors and set them up nice in sync, you might get some really nice feels as well. And if you want to get that nice room vibe, what I like to do is, as you guys may or may not have seen in my chain here, I have just this very simple 5 to 6% dry wet of this small room vibe, and it is wonderful. If I wanted to make it bigger and give myself more of a standing on stage kind of thing, because let's be honest, if you're playing with fuzz and it's kind of like this, I've got nothing. It's very dry right there. And that can be kind of like, well, insane when we're playing in headphones, the dry feeling when you're not in a room of any kind. It's not as inspiring, is it? It's not as inspiring. And especially for you guys on the other end. Whereas if I put in a bit of a room vibe and I shut my eyes, and it sounds really, if I turn off the music, especially guys, so there's nothing in the background. It's just you guys, and it's me, and it's you guys, and and you guys are getting what I'm getting as far as the room size. Now, if you listen to it again, if we're going to what would kind of be kind of fun when you're just sitting on your own playing around. Now that's really, really dry, guys. It sounds good, but it's dry. But if I'm going without those tunes in the background to kind of distract from the size and the space feel, we're going to go with this feel here, which is really only 16% of not even that big of a room. It's like I'm standing on stage I'm from the stage. Sound is bouncing around kind of in maybe like a mid-sized club. Man, that's badass. It really does sound great. It does sound great, especially in headphones. And that's what what I tend to play. I don't play as much with headphones as I probably should, because I mean, especially when I'm sharing a room, oftentimes with someone who, with her, she's like playing Xbox or something like that. I should be playing with headphones. And right now she doesn't have the volume up because I've got I've got the mic going and everything else. But typically we can share a room. And I'm testing something. I'll put the headphones on. She's playing. She can play with volume. I can hear it because I've got open back headphones. And I can hear what's going on in my environment. But at the same time, I hear the size and the space that I'm creating with the Verb, which is really nice. Now, if I want to go into just a nice little small studio room, for example, a studio beta. By the way, this is a free from Melda Productions, M Convolution EZ. It's free. And if you'd like to, there is also a purchasable version that is not very expensive at all. And it gives you a lot of different sizes to work with and a lot of different files in a lot of different sizes. There's hall, there's different microphones, plates, you've got rooms, you've got all kinds of different things, box, chambers, church reverbs, fucking church reverbs. If you've never sat with a pair of headphones and a really, really nice clean tone and a church reverb, and a nice clean tone with some delay and a nice church reverb. Gosh, you need to get on that ASAP. We're going to do that maybe in another episode. I really don't generally focus on clean tones unless it's genre based, but maybe we're going to have to do some sort of a clean tone focus once in a blue moon just to have some fun with stuff just like that. Now let's get the tunes back going on again. Guys, I hope you guys are having a good time. I see Steve chatting it up. Bo is here as well. I'm here. Guys, if you're in the chat, it never hurts to say hello. Never hurts to give us the old, give me the middle finger if you'd like. Give me the horns if you'd like. All the horns are kind of played out most of the time, but give me the horns if you'd like as well. As far as Ruddy James Dio is concerned, the horns will never be played out. And we are currently listening to Haze Maze. Sorry. Wow, I misread that because the mic was kind of right in my face and separating. All right, Haze Maze. I like that. I'm also going to follow them. Wicked. That kind of looks like Jared James Nichols. Right on. I'm going to remember that I found this band because this is also pretty rad. This is a monolord radio, by the way. And we're going to be with you guys for about another 2025. And I'm just kind of putting various pedals and various things. I'm going to bring this reverb back down to normal, so where I usually have it about 6%, just to kind of moisten things up in the background, and so it's not so dry for you guys listening. And for me in the headphones, it's really very uninspiring to hear a completely dry tone in headphones. It's very uninspiring. It is, and that's why I really like having my own set, like my own verbs around, just to have some fun with, etc. Thanks to everybody for being with me tonight. Thanks to Bo. Thanks to Pedro, who was here earlier. I'm not sure if Pedro's still around. He probably finally passed out. If he did, cheers to sleep, buddy. Steve Noel, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. 2 streams in one day, buddy. We've had some of your time today. Thanks so much for offering that time and giving it up. I appreciate you and being a part of the community, buddy. I appreciate that a lot. I really do. Free. The tone that I'm currently using is 100% free. Does that shock you? And if you're a doomer and you're just kind of chiming in and maybe you're watching one of these back because somebody told you, hey, there's somebody doing something kind of fun over there you might be interested in. If you're watching this back and you're thinking, wait, what the fuck? Why is it free? Well, to find out what freeware it really is inside the amp sim and you know, and let's call it the guitar and bass software industry. Freeware exists for a number of different reasons, and if you want to find out more about that, we also have on Fridays, we do Freeware Fridays, and you guys can chime in and drop in and find out all about freeware and why specifically it exists. It exists to serve many different purposes inside the software industry, and it's free. It's unrestricted. You don't have to pay for anything. There's no strings attached. These are all just free. A lot of it is brand awareness, and there's other reasons for it, but this is just different reasons, different ways to grow a brand inside a very competitive industry is by offering things for free as a way of sort of like almost like a business card in a way, or an advertisement, a sort of living advertisement in a sense. Marketing in a good way. If it's really good freeware, people are going to search out your paid stuff. That is kind of why it exists. I'm not going to go into any more detail because we've gone over it a lot of times on Freeware Fridays, and you can go and check those streams out. I wish I could be like, I had an editor where I could be like, check it out over my shoulder here, and there's a little box that'll pop up. Oh, check it out. But that doesn't exist on my budget, and I don't do a lot of editing yet. So here we are. Mesa Recto, how's it going? You're chiming in a good / bad time, and we're going to be wrapping up in about 20 minutes or so. We're going to be wrapping up before 11 o'clock tonight, just a little bit before 11 o'clock, and then at some point tomorrow I'm going to be doing something. I don't know what I'm doing yet tomorrow. It's going to be probably bass oriented. Going to be taking a couple of basses for a rip with some amazing Aurora DSP software, and I'm really excited to do it. There's a few different plugins, including one that you probably won't and weren't expecting me to be using for bass. Interesting. You might be thinking, what is that? What could he possibly been talking about? Well, I'll be telling you. And it's this right here. I can actually forgot about this. I wanted to showcase something from Aurora DSP. And I forgot about the Laboga chainsaw distortion. So I'm going to get rid of the... I'm going to get rid of the Mr. Hector here because I don't think we need it for tonight. I've heard it's really good for Doom and like chainsaw tones, but I'm not going to bother with that for tonight. I'm going to check it out, however, for this purpose and just for, I want to see what it can do for Doom. We are checking out some of my IRs tonight, so I am going to go in and just bypass this cabinet altogether. And we're checking out some of our brand new, to be offered soon on Tone Hunt, Doom Tomb Ginger 412 pack, and this is a blend of files, 3 different mics, and various positions for 3 different mics, 25 different files that you guys, with ridiculous names across the whole set. This is the Ogre file that you guys can check out. And this is the Laboga chainsaw distortion. Let's make it more angry than that. Yeah, that switch right there needs to just like be wired in that one spot and never be taken out of it. Anyways, this is really, really good. This is really, really good, guys. What do you mean slacking, dude? I didn't even notice slacking at all. Like, don't worry about that shit at all, my friend. This is from Aurora DSP, and it's for cheap. It's also kind of a collaboration with the Cole Audio Cult. And if you're not familiar with who Christian Coleman-Slaner is, the dude is awesome. He's, if I'm not mistaken, a German-based producer, a YouTuber, a lot of fun. The dude does amazing content. Go and check him out. Aurora DSP is, of course, sponsoring the entire month of April. We're going to be giving away some of the chainsaw distortion here. We're going to be giving away some of the Serbies. If I had thought about it, maybe we would have thought about giving one of these away tonight, but I'm going to promise you next Doom Tomb, we're going to be getting rid of one of these right here. So next time you see a Doom Tomb, you can be assured we're going to be giving away the chainsaw distortion, because I think this thing is well equipped to do the Doomy McDooms. And so far, what do you guys think of these files? I'm digging. Let's go to the clumpy file. Fungus. Nice. He's worked out pretty good. Romped. Hell yeah. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And we're just going to be collecting over the weekends. Generally, the AR people I'm going to be honest with you. Lucas, their AR guy, is like some sort of a professional motorcycle ninja of some sort. And yeah, that's all I know about it is the dude is kind of a ninja with motorcycles on the weekend. So I generally don't like to bother developers over the weekend with anything because they probably don't want to hear from me over the weekend. So if you guys are curious right now, The rig is just simply the Laboga chainsaw distortion. I bypassed this cab, and if you're not sure what bypassing a cab means, if you're new, if you're a doomer and you're new to this, if you're any user really, not just a doomer, if you're a brand new user and you're not sure what bypassing the cab means, well, in this case, this is not just a pedal, a distortion pedal. This is a preamp. And in the real world, you could take this and put it through some sort of a power source into your cabinet. In this case, we're to believe that there is a solid state power source between these two. But in reality, you just don't have to include it. In the plugin world, you can just take a preamp and put it right into a cabinet on IR, and it functions the same way as you would have in the real world, unless there was actually like settings on that power amp, in which case some developers do include little like things to goose the sound a little bit. In this case, they do have a boost that's kind of fun. And in this case, there is a blend of two different IR blends that I'm just kind of trying to test out my own stuff right now through this. It's not that it's bad by any means. Sometimes that used to be a reason back a ways where if it was a weak cabinet section, you'd bypass it and use your own impulse responses. In fact, that was almost always the case. And in some cases, most of you got amps that didn't have cabinet sections at all. These days, they always come with one. But back even like, let's say 7-8 years ago, that wasn't the case. Oftentimes, you just got the amp and there was no cabinet section that you got. It was just you got that and you had to build your own rig, as we're doing here. And for you, if you're wondering what is an impulse response, that is probably a little bit too easy. A pretty new question that I would point you to a YouTube video. What is an impulse response in YouTube? You'd be able to watch it and probably make it back before the end of before the next stream, and you'd understand that it's basically just a way that you use a microphone and a power source to shoot sort of a picture of that microphone position and speaker and the cabinet that you're using. You want to go up and look how they're created as well, just so you're well in the know. So I really do suggest that everybody go and look up how an IR is created, so you fully understand the process of what you're using and how exactly your favorite cabinets have been brought into this weird digital domain in such a realistic way that people, even with analog amps, choose load boxes that are armed with these things to voice their $8,000 amps. It's crazy to me that there are still these people out there that are saying that plugins are no good, even though I'm using a load box with my amp. If you're using an impulse response already, a plugin is not too far away. You may get better results. In fact, I'm almost guaranteeing that if you follow our advice here, we'll guide you to the good stuff and bypass all the garbage that a lot of people tend to waste their time with when they first enter the plugin realm. As a rabbit hole, what is an impulse response as a rabbit hole? Cole is German, yes. See what kind of sustain we can get on this. Damn good. You might be wondering, what is the Laboga chainsaw distortion? Well, okay. It's essentially kind of a sort of HM2, a heavy metal pedal, Boss heavy metal pedal that's been kind of like, altered to make it a little bit more presentable. A little bit more on the easy listening side. Okay. There's also something that exists made by a company called Clerton called the Grindstein. Now, the Grindstein is sort of an HM2 and a preamp inside one little box. And it's meant as a way to, you can kind of blend in as much or as little of that HM2 sound as you'd like. It kind of got around there that what a lot of people were doing was quad tracking their guitars to with their average, Engel or PV5150, something that's cutting and it's voicing most of their tone, and then going and recording two tracks with the HM2 and blending them in just ever so slightly to have a nice sort of accent effect. Peter at the Abyss Studios did it for a very long period of time with Hypocrisy and even Pain and other bands that he recorded there. And so eventually it was, you know, somebody was going to come out with a preamp that allowed you to blend that HM2 feature kind of in and out. We've used the Grindstein on the Doom Tune before. It looks something like, oops. It looks something like this right here. And you'll notice this has an upper strand that's HM2. The bottom strand is the preamp, and then you can mix this however you'd like. Whoopity boopity whoop. And then there you go. And then you'll be able to do that. So this essentially is also giving you something like that, only a much more stripped down way. The Grindstein has several panels. There's a gate, and there's this crazy, almost visceral, surgical EQ involved. There's a lot going on. This is like the Grindstein Lite. Hey, you know, it's just a little bit of what that's got going on. Easy to do, easy to just plug, play, and give her with this. There's not a lot of dialing to do. You sort of just aim, point, and shoot, and this thing gives you brutality, complete brutality. Not that brutal. This is brutal. So you still got that chug, where you've got that nice little blend of HM2 when you really start to piss the pedal off. You start to piss things off more and more here, and it brings out that character more and more as you go. And you can make it sound a little bit more metal, a little bit more doom, a little bit more chainsaw in the middle, and you can do some fun, really fun things. Again, next Doom Tune, I'm going to do my best to remember to make sure we have a license for the Laboga chainsaw distortion. We're going to be doing that probably the second last to last week in April. The rest of this month, we'll be giving away a whole bunch of fun stuff from Aurora DSP. And we cannot wait for the rest of this month. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Honestly, it's been really fun. We're really trying to test out. I will be here again next Saturday, Friday or Saturday, probably Saturday night around 8 o'clock. It might be instead because 9 o'clock felt like it was just dragging a little bit. I felt like I could have been on here at 8 very comfortably. It's going to be 8 or 9 on Saturday nights. We're going to do it again next week. It probably won't be Doom Tune, but it'll be something else. We'll be doing something for those people in this sort of time zone / Saturday night, North America, mostly for likely people from North America, likely up in at this time anyways. So if you guys are out there and you guys are ever bored or wanting to hang out and do some gear chat, tech chat, etc. on Saturday nights, you guys can always look forward to something, or at least for the next few weeks or in the month of April. I can promise you I'm going to be here on Saturday nights testing things out to see what this time spot's kind of like. All right, guys, thank you so very much. I think we had a lot of good fun tonight. This is actually a stream that is being recorded tonight as well to be sent to sort of we'll say a potential signature artist potentially looking to break into the plugin universe. So I'm going to be sending this along to kind of in a way to kind of goose the scenario in the right, hopefully goose the scenario in the right way and see what we can do with it. Hopefully we got another amazing artist that contributes to an amazing plugin that people can use in the privacy and the convenience of their own home in the quiet without waking up the babies. We're looking forward to it. And next week, guys, you're probably going to be something thrash oriented. I'm going to assume is going to be could be a possibility. So I'll look for us next Saturday. We'll be around, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you. Thank you for being part of this community. Thanks for helping us get started from very small. It's going to be nothing but up from here, guys. And I hope to use every bit of our experience, all of our connections, all of our past connections and experience, and all the different things that we've been through in this industry as a team. Not only myself, but as a team, all the things we've been through in this industry over the years. We hope to use it all to your benefit so that we can find you guys the best tones for little to no money on your basically whatever you're looking for. We can help you find it, no matter what your level of experience is or problems you might be having. We can help you get there. We can help you fix it. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you once again. Cheers.